Good evening guys, second part of today's vlog. This is an extraordinary one, a bit of stealth, a little bit of time, a little bit of continuity, sneaking around, and we've made it. If you know about this place, it's supposed to be pretty cool, but we made it here. Everyone's gone home, we believe, and we're going to go and have a nose to see what's going on. What did you expect? A cup of tea would have been nice. Certainly seen better days. Let's have a wander around this magnificent place and see what we have. Oh, cellar. Definitely be doing that. Wow. Kind of understand why some people want to knock this thing down. I don't think it can be saved, to be honest with you guys. It's not structurally strong enough anymore. Look, you'd have to put new floors, new roof, walls, absolutely everything. It's pretty much been destroyed. Okay, you can see all the stanchions put in. This was after the event. I can tell you what happened because I do know the story. Well, they have certainly seen better days, but we have to make our way up there. So here goes. One thing for sure guys, that was really unnervy coming up the gap there on the corner. And you see straight down. And not so much the gap as what's here. Have a bath with a view. Wow. This is where the side of it just blew out. But it didn't actually blow out. I actually thought it was a gas explosion until I'd looked into the story. So I might as well tell you guys what happened. Okay, so the property itself, believe it or not, is a couple of 100 years old. I thought it was relatively new. But then, as I said, I read up the story on it and what actually happened. And basically, I'm just going to call it the lodge. I know where we are. I can't give too much of the details away, although this place will change soon. So it's probably not, as we go along, we'll see how we get on, see how I tell the story, because this is going to be either knocked down or developed really, really soon. So there's not going to be a lot of point in not telling you where we are. So this place was known as Weldon Lodge Farm. Sits behind what was once the Rockingham race circuit. So I said I might as well turn around and say that now, because as you can see there's JCBs etc outside. It's having work done to it, so you're not going to be able to get in here for much longer. But what happened is the land was sold off for the idea, the concept of Rockingham. It was originally all farmland. That was sold off. The family that had been in this property had been here for 6 generations, and or 6 decades should I say, and then the new housing estate started going up next door. Now what the problem with that is because we're very off camber here. It's we're kind of right at the top of a big slope, and when they started doing the clearing work, the foundation work at the bottom of the hill for all the new houses, this started having tremors, like little earthquakes. Basically the ground was slipping in which this was situated on, so a load of like trenches, scars were appearing in the landscape in the back and the front garden, and the people who owned the property were reporting it, but nothing was getting done about it. And then all of a sudden a large crack appeared on the front of the property, and still nothing was done about it. They persisted, they carried on, they turned around and said it's structurally safe, you are okay. But then it was the 13th of, I'm trying to think, is it the 13th of August? It was definitely the 13th, and it was in 2019 that the farmer that owned the property, his wife was here asleep. He went out for an hour between, I think it was 2:45 and 3:45, and when he come back, this is what he was greeted with. the back of the house had fallen off, and it has been this way ever since. Luckily enough, those who were residents here got out safely. They lost a few possessions, but health wise all okay. They knew they could no longer live in this property, so they were put up elsewhere, and it's sat like this ever since. And then obviously people just come along like ourselves, just having a general nose. We'll come here, we'll take video footage, photographs, etc. But other people come here, spray the place up. Just is kind of the way people are nowadays. The place is honestly just a real mess. But it's grade 2 listed. So, I don't know. What does that actually mean? Can they pull it down? They can't modify it. Maybe they'll try and save it, I don't know what, but someone's obviously purchased all the land around here and they're going to do something with it. A few outbuildings to look at in a bit. That was pretty spectacular. Would have been nice and ornate, few ornaments across there, nice little coves on the side. And we have a small basement stroke cellar. I don't think it's particularly big. I suppose this does turn around and confirm that the property would have been old. You would not have had a basement or cellar in a property that's more modern, so other people that have been here have scribed their name on that. Big shout out to my buddy Explorer Machino. He's been here with some of his pals, had a look in. What on earth were these chains for? Obviously had a purpose. Maybe it's a wine cellar down here. You know what? That could even have been, I know, you know, like you get in a pub, the way they drop the barrels down. Maybe originally, at some point, this was a coaching house. And they stored barrels or something down here. You just don't know. And that was me just stepping down a big hole. Don't worry, you get used to it with me, guys. Got some pretty dodgy outbuildings out here as well. Loads of fawns, etc. coming through. Maybe this was a wash house, because it's an old-fashioned sink. So maybe tumble dryer, washing machine, plumbing coming through. Oh, power. So as I said, this is the back of the property where the collapse happened. And if I make my way somehow around to the front, I can show you where the crack was. I've not seen any of these trenches that were spoken about in the grass area, but I dare say they're there. It's just an old barn area, maybe a working garage back in the day. You can see some of the cracks down here. There are some serious cracks at the back. And you think we were walking around with cracks like that in the wall. Just kind of want to see the front end of the building where they said it cracked, and then we're near enough done here, guys. Some serious stinging nettles around here. It's a bit slippy underfoot as well. There we go. Just around the window area, you see a huge crack. All this happened before the final collapse in 2019. So it once was a beautiful property, and it's all due to all these houses across the road that have seen this as an eyesore for so long. It's because your properties were built in the first place, guys, that the ground slipped and this place got in the condition it's like now. Well, it's been decent, enjoyable, pretty sketchy. Them steps were awful, but we've loved it. There's one thing I just did want to show you to finish off the story. This was once all arable farmland. Now there's a few bunnies running around, but it was sold off. The property remained and the residents stayed there for years, but it was sold off to these guys behind us. That is your Rockingham race circuit. So I guess the location's out there, but as I said, we'll probably be one of the last in here due to these guys. They've come in, they've set up camp, got all their machinery in, and they're going to start either demolishing it or rebuilding it, doing something, that's for sure. All these concrete blocks about. Anyway guys, thank you so much for joining us here. We did it, we got in. Bit covert. We tried earlier this afternoon, had no luck. We could see people about, we could hear noises, generators, etc., tractors, JCBs, and then it downpoured. So they obviously went home, we went off to film RAF, United States Air Force Base, Spano, what is left of the facilities there, and then we come back here after and we got in. So all's good, we've enjoyed it, we've had a great day. Check out Adventures of Paul's channel, certainly check out the rest of my stuff. Thank you, enjoy the rest of your week, we'll see you in the movies. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Bye.